Did you know that people with a high IQ don't actually look the way we imagine them? The most intelligent person in the room is usually not the one speaking the loudest, and almost never the one trying to prove it. We're used to thinking of high IQ as something obvious, someone who constantly talks, shows off knowledge, and solves problems in front of everyone. But reality is much more interesting and a bit uncomfortable. Psychology shows that real intelligence almost never looks impressive. It's quiet, subtle, and often hidden behind behaviors we don't even associate with being smart. In fact, the smartest people can seem thoughtful, distant, or even a bit strange, and that's exactly why they're so easy to underestimate. High intelligence is almost impossible to recognize right away. It's not in loud words, but in subtle signals most people miss. Intelligence isn't about what you know. It's about how you process reality. That's why the smartest person in the room is often the one you didn't even notice. And this processing shows up in everyday habits. Here are 10 signs of high intelligence. First habit: you talk to yourself. Yes, it sounds weird, but here's the paradox. It's actually a sign of an active mind. Psychologists call it self-directed speech, when you're literally guiding your brain through complex thoughts. In that moment, you're not just thinking, you're strengthening your thinking. Research shows that speaking your thoughts out loud improves focus, speeds up processing, and strengthens working memory. In other words, when you talk to yourself, you're not losing control. You're taking control. So if you catch yourself quietly talking through ideas or problems, that's not weird. That's your brain working at a higher level. Second habit: you overthink everything, even things others forgot long ago. One conversation can replay in your head dozens of times. One decision can split into dozens of possible outcomes. It looks like doubt, but it's actually deep analysis. Your brain is constantly building models. What if this? What if that? What did I miss? It searches for hidden patterns where others don't even look. From the outside, it can look like overthinking or hesitation. But inside, it's something else. A deep simulation of reality where every detail gets tested. Third habit: night thinking. Many people with high IQ notice something strange. Their brain really turns on at night. When everything goes quiet, thoughts become clearer, deeper, freer. While others rest, your mind goes into full mode. Some researchers link this to cognitive flexibility. The higher it is, the easier it is to adapt to non-traditional rhythms like staying up late. In simple terms, the night isn't a flaw. It's your natural state for deep thinking. Fourth habit: constant curiosity. And not just being interested in things. It's more like a need to understand how everything works. People with high IQ can't just accept things as they are. Their brain automatically asks questions, even where others don't. Why did that person react like that? Why does this system work this way? What's happening underneath the surface? And it's not just big philosophical questions. It's often small, everyday details that most people ignore. Their mind works like a search engine, constantly scanning reality, finding patterns, connecting dots, and building models of the world. Fifth habit: you're comfortable being alone. And people often misunderstand this. It's not about disliking people. It's about your brain constantly working even in silence. When there's noise and conversation, your thinking gets scattered, but once you're alone, depth kicks in. Ideas connect. Thoughts become clearer. Solitude gives your brain space, especially your prefrontal cortex, the part responsible for planning, reflection, and complex thinking. Research even shows that people with high intelligence often get less satisfaction from frequent social interaction because their brain needs something else, quiet time. For them, silence isn't empty, it's productive. Sixth habit: a strong sense of humor. Not just laughing, but seeing what others don't. When you understand or create humor, your brain does complex work. It finds hidden meaning, breaks expectations, and connects unrelated ideas. That's why people with high intelligence often have subtle humor. Not everyone gets it right away. Research shows that higher intelligence is linked to deeper, more complex humor. Because a good joke isn't random, it's fast thinking. Seventh habit: you're comfortable saying "I don't know." And that's not weakness. That's precision. People with high intelligence understand the limits of their knowledge. The more they know, the more they realize how much they don't know. Psychology calls this the Dunning-Kruger effect. The less someone knows, the more confident they are, and the opposite is also true. That's why smart people don't rush to sound certain. They choose to be accurate, because they see complexity where others see simplicity. Eighth habit: you change your mind when new information appears. That's not weakness. That's strength. People with high intelligence don't treat beliefs as identity. They treat them as models. Something that can and should be updated. This is called cognitive flexibility, the ability to adjust your understanding without resistance. Now think about this for a second. How often do we misread these behaviors? Someone who spends time alone seems antisocial. Someone who asks questions seems doubtful. Someone who changes their mind seems unsure. But sometimes it's the opposite. It's a mind that doesn't settle for easy answers, but searches for accurate ones. Ninth habit: you observe more than you speak. While others rush to respond, you pause. You watch. You listen. You read the room. You notice not just words, but tone, reactions, subtle movements. Who interrupts? Who avoids eye contact? Who says one thing but feels another? And only then you speak. People with high intelligence often collect data first. They analyze social dynamics, pick up emotional signals, and build a clear picture. That's not slowness. That's precision. Because while others react, you understand. And that's why your words are fewer, but sharper. 10th habit: a constant search for meaning. This isn't just thinking about life. It's an ongoing internal process. People with high intelligence feel the complexity of the world more deeply. In relationships, behavior, society. They ask questions without easy answers. Who am I in all of this? Why do people make the choices they make? What's really behind our thoughts and actions? And it doesn't always look philosophical. Sometimes it's just a quiet feeling in the background, like there's something deeper beneath the surface. Why do we think the way we do? And maybe that's the most interesting part of intelligence. It's not just about solving equations or remembering facts. At its core, intelligence is curiosity. A mind that keeps exploring patterns, questioning assumptions, and trying to understand the strange, fascinating puzzle of human nature. Subscribe if you want to understand even more.